Sophia sat alone in a dim apartment, the ticking clock echoing through the silence. Once, her laughter filled this space, before betrayal stole her smile. Her husband left 2 years ago, leaving behind shattered promises and unpaid bills. Now, every day felt the same: work, silence, and empty evenings. She had built walls so high that even hope couldn't climb them. Until one morning, she met Liam, a new art teacher at the community center. He was much younger, with eyes full of unspent dreams and a quiet warmth that felt disarming. He smiled at her and said, "Greater than, you look like someone who used to love the rain." It was such a simple sentence, yet something in her chest stirred for the first time in years. Sophia started volunteering at the center, just to keep busy, or so she told herself. Liam was always there, painting, humming, spilling coffee, and laughing at his own mistakes. He had a way of making even silence feel alive. One afternoon, as they cleaned brushes side by side, he said softly, "Greater than, pain doesn't make you weak. It just means you cared deeply once." She froze. No one had ever spoken to her that way. Not with pity, but with understanding. That night, she looked at her reflection and realized she was smiling, a soft, fragile smile that didn't feel borrowed. As weeks passed, they grew closer. Liam would walk her home, carrying her books, sharing stories about his dreams of opening a small art studio by the sea. Sophia tried to resist it, this warmth, this comfort. She reminded herself of the years between them, of the scars she carried. But one rainy evening, when he found her crying on the steps after a bad day, he simply sat beside her, wordless, offering his coat. She leaned on his shoulder, and for the first time in years, she allowed herself to be held. In the soft rhythm of rain, her heart whispered something she'd long forgotten: hope. Sophia began to withdraw again. The more she cared, the more she feared. "What will people say?" she asked. "I'm too old for fairy tales." Liam smiled. "Greater than, I'm not looking for a fairy tale. I'm looking for you." But the ghosts of her past still haunted her, whispers of failure, shame, and judgment. When her ex-husband appeared one evening, mocking her, young admirer, her old wounds bled open again. She told Liam to stay away, for his own good. He didn't argue. He just said quietly, "Greater than, I'll wait." Because real love doesn't leave when it gets hard. Days turned into weeks. The silence hurt more than she expected. Then, one morning, Sophia found a small painting left at her door. It showed a woman standing beneath the rain, her face lifted to the sky. On the back was a note. "Greater than, the rain doesn't destroy. It teaches us to bloom again." Tears filled her eyes. She realized that love wasn't about age or perfection, it was about courage. That evening, she walked to the art center. Liam was there, cleaning brushes as always. She whispered, trembling, "Greater than, you said you'd wait. I don't want to run anymore." He turned, eyes shining. "Greater than, then don't. Let's just live." Months later, they opened a small art cafe together, Bloom. Sophia laughed more now. She painted again. And Liam, he still looked at her like she was a miracle he never expected to find. One quiet night, as they watched the sunset, she said softly, "Greater than, you saved me." He shook his head. "Greater than, no, I just reminded you that you were worth saving." Camera pans out, the cafe glowing in warm light, laughter spilling into the twilight. A once broken woman and a young man who dared to love her, proof that sometimes, love doesn't come to complete us. Greater than, it comes to make us whole again.